Alrighty everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Isaac. Right, so in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to index or adjust your gears. So if they're making horrible noises, not shifting properly, or just being a pain in general, and you don't know how to fix it, then this is a video for you because I'm just going to explain it, walk you through the steps on how to get your gears running smooth. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get straight into it. Alright, so before we adjust the gears, just a couple things you need to have a look at. One of them being a rusty cable. If your cable is old and worn out, you're definitely going to need to put a new one of them in, just else you won't get those nice smooth shifts. Another one to check is the derailleur hanger. If that's bent in any way, your whole derailleur then will be bent and it just will not function properly and you won't get smooth shifts. So to check if your derailleur hanger is bent, the easiest way is to just look down from the back of the bike, and usually you can see if it's bent. Mine looks pretty good. It's all straight and in line, so I don't need to change my derailleur hanger. Obviously brand new bike, so I don't need to change the cable either. So once you've got all that done, we can check the limit screws. So what the limit screws do is just stop the chain from going too far up the cassette and into the wheel, and at the bottom it'll stop it from going too far over and into the frame and derailleur hanger. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is just loosen the cable on the derailleur, and then we can have a look at these limit screws. Alright, so on the derailleur there are two little bolts here and they will adjust the limits. So there should be a H next to one of them and an L next to one of them. So the H stands for high gears and the low for low gears. So on mine, the bolt that's closest to the front of the bike is for the high gears, so the smallest cogs, and the other one is for the low gears, which is up the top of the cassette on the biggest cogs. So for now I'm going to be doing the high gears. We just want to start pedaling the bike, and as you can hear, there's a little bit of skipping in the chain because it just wants to come off. So it's not off enough to actually make the chain pop off of the cassette, but it's making a terrible noise, so I'm just going to tighten the limit screw clockwise until that noise goes away. And as you can hear, there's no more noise, and you can just check to make sure that it's all lined up from the back of the bike. Now we can move on to the biggest cog. So you want to be careful when doing this because the chain can easily fall off the cassette and go into the wheel if your limit screw isn't adjusted correctly. So we're just going to start by pedaling, and we're just going to push the derailleur up the cassette. And now we're on the top, and we want to be very careful not to let it go into the wheel, so just pedal very slowly. Yep, and as you can see, my chain is now wanting to hop off of the cassette into the wheel. So you just want to slowly let the derailleur go and let the gears go back down to the smallest cog. So if your chain is wanting to hop off of the cassette into the wheel, you want to turn your low limit screw clockwise. So you start with half a turn and then check that again. That's pretty good. I could go a tad more, so I will. Just another quarter turn. Alright, so now it won't go into the wheel and it won't go into the frame. So that's the limit screws done, and let's get on to the next thing. Once the limit screws are done, before we tighten this cable back up, we come up to the shifter here, and this barrel adjuster is where all the finer adjustments will come from. We can turn that all the way clockwise until it won't go anymore, and then give it maybe 1 or 2 turns back the other way, just so we have a bit of adjustment both directions. Then we want to come back to the derailleur and tighten that bolt back up again. Just give it a gentle tug, doesn't need to be anything too crazy. All the adjustments from now on will come from this barrel adjuster, which will either tighten the cable or loosen it. So now we can just go ahead and try changing the gears. As you can see, it's a bit slow to come up to the first gear, so I'm going to give it a bit of a turn clockwise, or maybe go for half a turn. Now we'll try putting that up again. And as you can see, that's nice and quick now. Now we can go all the way up to the low ones, and now we just try come back down the block. Alright, so it's a bit slow to do that, so that means we've got a bit too much cable tension, so we need to turn the barrel back anti-clockwise to give a bit less tension, so it will come down a little bit quicker. It's quite a simple process, as I've already said, if you know how to do it, and now you do. So I hope this video was helpful. If so, make sure you give it a like, and if you enjoyed this content and would like to see more like it, make sure you subscribe to my channel with notifications. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. And as you can see, that is not good.